Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm here with another video for you guys today. And I think this one's going to be pretty good for the beginners out there. As you can see by the title of the video, this is 10 things I wish I knew before I started trading. And now I think this is a perfect video for beginners that are looking to get trading. They're thinking about it. They're not too sure on if they should do it or not. So today, I hope this video really helps you out with the 10 things I wish I knew before I got into it. But before we hop in, as always, subscribe to my channel. Still really small, but I'm growing. So I'm putting out videos Monday through Friday with a Sunday night watch list. So if you're interested in that content, make sure to subscribe. But let's get into it. So the number one thing I have for new traders is that you don't have to pay for info. And I know for me personally, when I first started looking into it, I looked into penny stocks, and they're okay if it works for you, but for most people, penny stocks are not great. But I thought you would have to pay for info. I didn't expect there to be so much free information out there. I thought you would just have to pay to have a mentor, to get into a Discord. I thought you'd have to pay to do just about anything in relating to the stock market, Because if you think about it, the stock market's huge. How are you just gonna be able to start for free? But you definitely can get going for free. So don't even worry about spending any money, because you don't need to. And now my second tip for new traders out there is you don't need a crazy setup. A lot of people think they need to spend a few $1,000s on a trading setup. They need a couple monitors to see a bunch of different charts. While yes, that is definitely helpful, you don't need to at all. You can, it's not ideal, but you can just trade from your phone, especially if you're on Robinhood, if you really want to. So don't feel like you need to go and buy that $2,000 computer or build a PC. You don't need all that stuff. Does it hurt? It doesn't hurt at all. But is it going to make you a better trader? You could debate it one way or another, but you definitely don't need it to start out. Once you prove that you can trade, yeah, sure, go and get that nice setup. But just starting out, you don't need to get it. Trust me. And now my third tip kind of rolls together with number one, but you can learn a ton from YouTube. That's where I've done almost all my learning about the stock market, is through YouTube. And it's completely free. Unless you choose to support somebody, then that's totally fine. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. But there are so many different outlets on YouTube and different channels that have a ton of information on what the stock market is, equities, options, futures, forex, whatever your cup of tea is with trading. I guarantee you can find it on YouTube. And please exhaust that option before you go somewhere else and want to spend money. It's just, please. All right, number 4 is do not force profits. Now, when you're first starting out trading, it's in your head that you don't want to lose any of the money you put in, and you're really going to try hard to make everything count. But the important thing is to realize you can't force profits. When you start to try to force getting profit is when you're going to start forcing trades and things that just don't work, and you're just going to see your account value slowly go down. So if I could drill it into your head, do not force profits. You got to get comfortable with reading charts and how you feel, news. There's a myriad of different things that go into trading in the stock market in general. So please, as starting out, just do not force profits. And number 5, and this one is pretty important, is when you're starting out trading, start very small. Because let's say you have $10,000 that you've saved up in your savings, and you're like, I want to trade with this now. I'm ready to take that leap. I'm ready to do this. Do not start with $10,000. That is very, very important. Start with like $100, or at the very most, like $1,000. Because I can almost guarantee, unless you get crazy lucky, you're gonna lose a lot of that money. So please just start with small amounts while you're getting your feet wet and learning, just so that way you can know the in and outs of the stock market and what you like to do and trade. And If you don't want to risk any money at first, paper trade. TD Ameritrade has a great paper trading account. It's a great way to get started and just to see if you even like trading in the first place. But I know personally I didn't want a paper trade, so I just went in with real money. But I went in with like $500 and I lost a lot of that. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, $500 isn't a lot, but if I had to recommend anything, just start with $100 and see what you can do with that. And if you like that and you can build consistently, great, then you can put more money in. But while you're learning, just start with such a little amount of capital. It makes the most sense to do it that way. And now my next tip for you guys is do not expect the world. And what I mean by this is don't expect you to, as soon as you start trading, you can quit your job, leave everything, and just think everything's going to be rosy. It's not. I mean, trading is not easy. You hear it all the time. If something was easy, everybody would be doing it. And you don't see a lot of people doing this. So if you're going into trading with the mindset of, okay, great, I'm going to make millions of dollars. I'm not going to have to do anything else for the rest of my life. I can just kick back and take it easy. You may need a reality check because that's just not how the market works. Now, you can be extremely successful doing this, but you really have to step back and kind of humble yourself before you get into it, or else you're going to lose a lot of money or you're not going to be happy or satisfied with what's going on. All right, so number 7. Now, this one is something that you don't see a lot of, but it's very important to tell you and to cover. Losses are common. Now, despite what you see in ads, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, you're going to take losses a decent amount of the time. Especially starting out, you're probably going to take a lot more losses than you do wins. But it's important to know that that's just a part of the stock market and trading. If you weren't able to take losses, or if nobody took losses, I should say, then we would all be crazy, crazy rich. And there would be, it would just be insane. So it's not realistic to expect a 100% win rate. Everybody loses. Some people lose more than others. I know I've lost thousands of dollars before. It's not uncommon at all to make losses. In fact, it's very, very, very uncommon for you to take few losses. Now, people are excited to win 60% of the time. I know that. And so if you're down on yourself for being 50-50, don't. Especially if you're starting out, that'd be amazing. Losses are extremely common, so don't freak out if you're taking a few losses in a row. You just got to evaluate what you're doing and make changes and go from there. Now, number 8. This one is also very important. It is, do not compare your trades with other people's trades. And the reason why I say this is because it's almost one trade is not created equal. The reason I say this is if 2 people buy the same options contract, they could have 2 different prices that they bought at. So that means 2 different break evens, and they just have 2 different entry points and exit points. So if you see somebody walk out with a 10% and you're happy with that, and then somebody walks out with 50%, do not be upset at that. And the reason is, especially if you take a profit is profit at the end of the day. So if you see somebody else that did better than you, feel happy and aspire to be that way. But do not get jealous or have FOMO that you didn't make as much money as them. Because as long as you're following your systems and you're continuing to do what you're supposed to do, the money is going to come. It's just all about consistency, and that's exactly what you need to do. So do not have jealousy with other people, or else it'll come back to bite you because you'll buy in again, and then you'll get hurt on the back end, and then you'll be out some money. So nobody wants that. So just remember, do not judge other people's trades with yours. All right, number 9. Now this one is very important for self-reliance, and it is finding your own way of profit. And what I mean by this is everybody kind of has their own little tailored way on how they make money the best in the stock market. That's why I think it's the best to track down your trades, what kind of trade it was, and see if there's one particular way you're making the most money. Let's say you're doing day trading and swing trading, just to keep it simple, and you notice that Your day trades are losing your money. If you're lucky, you're breaking even on it. But your swing trades happen to be pretty profitable. So what you would do in that respect is you would focus a lot more on swing trading and minimizing day trade to the most, unless there's a crazy event. So that's the way you can really maximize what you're doing the most, is if you're able to see what you're doing the best and really critique it. So just remember, everybody's different, and just because somebody's making money doing something else doesn't mean that you're going to make money doing that same thing. So remember that. And the last point I have for you today is number 10. And this one is really important to understand and realize, is you don't have to use all of your day trades. And so this is applying to people under $25,000, which you definitely should be if you're starting out. If you're over $25,000 and you're starting out, we need to talk. But with those, you get 3 day trades per 5 trading days. Just because you have them available doesn't mean you need to use them. Because if you're trying to use them up just to use them up, that means you're trading too much or you're over trading. And for many, many people, you can over trade and it will cost you a lot of money. Just because you think you can go in and out of a position a lot, it doesn't mean it's going to work. And a lot of times, like I said earlier, you're just going to over trade. And then you're out of day trade, and then you're maybe out some money, and then say a few days later, since you forced it earlier in the week, now you're in a position you bought today and something bad came out, and oh wait, you can't use your day trade now because you tried to force something earlier in the week. You just got to think about it. You don't need to use them just because they're there. It's a great tool to get out of position if you realize you did something wrong. Like just today, I bought a put that I didn't want to buy. I bought it by accident, but I had a day trade, so I was able to get out of it really quick. And just things you need to think about. You don't need to use them just because they're there. And now, guys, those are my 10 tips for people that are starting out trading or looking into it. I hope those 10 tips helped you out. If you have any questions or comments about any of the 10 I had, drop them down below. I'll make sure to answer any comments, especially for you new traders out there. Or if you guys have any other tips you guys want to leave for new traders, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll read all of them. I'll react to them. I really appreciate all the support you guys show for me. It means a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content. Like I said, Monday through Friday with the Sunday night watch list. But before I bore you guys anymore, thank you guys for watching and have a great day.